You
right?
know? So he
And
started stuff
so
and then
he's
that, that yeah, he's a Rastafarian. Yeah, come. Mm-hmm.
okay. Excuse me tonight. Something I eat or drink, but I'm not bad. Um,
Right,
so he's Rastafarian. You know, the Lord love Ethiopia.
right.
He love Ethiopia. All right. But this one I don't get. They don't never come to class though. They just talk and just keep it moving.
Yeah.
Uh, and
Yeah, so
it is what it
yeah, so Salaki, I
is.
showed him the scripture with Zephaniah chapter 2 verse 12. So
Uh-huh.
like he never saw that scripture before, so he said you have to go and read it to really see what it's about. So I said, well, it's clear. So the Lord was going to slay all the Ethiopians. It's clear to say I didn't have to go and read that.
Right.
So, so you know,
That
yeah,
like that Rastafarianism is the same as Christianity in terms of the witchcraft.
can.
You know what I mean? Brainless type of, you know what I mean? Just um it's a cult, it's a blind cult following. You get me?
Right.
It's a blind cult following. And it's you know, it's the same type of black version with dreadlocks of Christianity. You understand?
Can.
It's the same, the Trinity the same way, right? They believe there's a Trinity. They believe that is God, right? Not that he's
Right.
the son of God, but that he is God. Um, what else? They believe in the virgin birth. They believe in immaculate conception.
Can.
Um, now I'm again rusty on Rastafarianism. I ain't had to battle it in a while. I ain't, you know, you don't get Rastafarian battle in DC as much. You know what I mean? Very, 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 very rare.
Right. So Salaka, he asked what the Israelites think about the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. So I
Uh-huh.
said, well, you all are all Christians. You all is the same thing. You all preach the same doctrine, which is the virgin both are brought up,
Right.
right? I said we teach that Joseph and Mary had sex to make Jesus Christ. You all teach different to that.
Right.
So like he got offended with that one and he said, no, but the Bible said it's so and so and she didn't have sex and Mary from the tribe of Judah. I said, what scripture said
Mm-hmm.
that in the Bible? He said,
Mm-hmm.
well, it have a book, some book he called, and that book says she's from the tribe of Judah. I saw it in the Bible, it says Joseph is from the tribe of Judah. And I gave him the scripture, Matthew 1, and for him to read the lineage. So, and
And what he said, he was stuck right there. He couldn't say nothing else, right?
yeah, he was stuck, but he still stick. So then after he said, so Joseph have a law then. Because if you say Joseph is his father, Joseph have a law. So I said, no, we all have a biological father and a spiritual father. We all have that. Joseph was his biological father. Father, just like how he's our spiritual father too. Yeah. I mean,
Yes. That's, more Christianity than a little bit.
right,
It's more Christian. It's like, damn near is like they more Christian than Christians. You
right,
think? It's damn near like they more Christian than the Christian. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church, talking about the actual Ethiopian Orthodox Church, about the shit niggas try to go to. You understand? I
right.
believe the actual Ethiopian Orthodox Church, let's go there, right?
Right.
That's strictly Ethiopian, and for all of them who love Ethiopia, Ethiopians are some of the most racist people on the earth.
Right.
Get the point? Extremely racist. They don't mix. You know, not that it's a bad thing, but just to say that, like, he acting like, you know, the Ethiopians gonna accept him with open arms when that ain't the case. You get the point? Ethiopians don't mix, right? They traditionally don't mix. They just like how you see Chinese people keep to themselves, marry among themselves. You understand?
Right.
It's the same. That same spirit is just there with the same with the Ethiopians, right? They don't mix. Never married no Ethiopian because her father is not going to give. Get the point?
Right. And so
Go
like,
ahead.
what he was also saying is that God in the Bible said he is going to choose the nation that has never been conquered. And he says Ethiopia is the only country that has never been conquered on the face of it. I said pull the scripture and let me see that, and he couldn't pull the scriptures. So,
Yeah, that
right.
is bullshit. That is.
Right.
Wait, so who controlling Ethiopia right now? I'm gonna tell you who conquered Ethiopia. Flies. Maggots conquer Ethiopia. You understand? Flies and maggots conquered Ethiopia. And when they gathered in the 90s and Michael Jackson and what's the big breast white woman who is saying country? What's her goddamn name, boy? Lord. Blonde hair, she's like a country music legend. And Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson, all of them gather around and they say, we are the world, we are the children. And they put up the picture of the big hungry Ethiopian with the big distended belly and his ribcage showing and the big bobble head. All over that nigga.
Right.
Conquered by flies. Choosing none of that bullshit.
Right.
It's I'm saying that, of course, to be fully disrespectful to the Ethiopians. That's why, especially brothers from the tribe of Benjamin, be so caught up with Ethiopians. It's a romanticism. It's a love affair. You get the point? It's a love affair back to the garden, right? It's a love affair that goes back to the garden. If I could, let's go to Genesis 2, right? No, I know last week we finished off the Garden of Eden. So where the Lord created Adam. You understand?
Genesis.
You with me?
You with me? Yeah. The creation of man.
All right, no sweat. Who's this? It's some different brother.
Kareem.
Hey, what's going on out here? Kareem, what's going on, warrior?
What's up?
Yeah. Yeah. Slack, yeah.
All right, Most High in Christ. I didn't know Kareem was online then. You all remember last week we finished off with Genesis, right? Genesis 2. With the creation of Adam and Eve. Right?
That's all I'm hearing.
You hearing me good? Fix your audio up.
And I'm still like, Mashak, a brother just called me there and he told me he wasn't getting on. He says like he had to create an account. He's one of those brothers
Does he
who
have
would create Israelite. Huh? So, okay.
Does he have Google Hangout?
Yeah, but like he needs to create an account, he was telling me. So he say he will create the account and see if he could come on.
Okay, no sweat. Well, it no matter. Whenever he get through, he get through. You know, the car's gonna be online. He can still live.
Right.
Right. So we finished with Adam and Eve, right? Not with Adam and Eve. With Adam, we got the creation of Adam. We got the creation of Eve, right? Then we got the creation of Adam, right? That's where we left off last week. Where the Lord taught Adam laws. You get the point? He taught laws. We taught him statutes and commandments. You get the point? Now, with Rastafarianism, and this is for not just Rastafarianism, this is for Christianity, this is for Islam, Rastafarianism. Give me another religion that black people are up into a whole lot and worship a lot. Something that's, you know, popular, not underground. Yeah, the Islam, Rastafarianism.
Islam.
Islam already called that. Moorish, them Moorish people, 5%ers. The Moors, right? The Moorish Science Temple. Some of us are up into the Chinese culture, the Buddhist. With us as a people, Baptist, that would fall under Christianity, right? The Baptists would fall under Christianity. All that is a form of Christianity, right? With our people, we do not like who we are. You get the point? We hate waking up in the morning and looking in the mirror. You understand? We don't like if you go to put on one of the white man suit, you know, the white man three-piece suit.
Right.
Suit. The fact that the damn neck for your neck, because your neck is big, strong. White man have a thin neck like a goddamn pencil. That shirt don't even button right. The tie don't fit right. As a people, we are upset. We are not another race. You understand? That's the root of every false religion, of the commitment to every false religion. You know why Farrkhan, he was wrong. You understand? I'm telling you straight up and down. Louis Farrkhan knows Islam is fake and wrong. Maybe when he started, he thought it was the right way. Right? Maybe he had zeal and he thought, okay, you know, the Quran, assalamu alaikum, blah, 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 blah. Just like Malcolm X. But right now, I'm telling you straight up, Louis Farrkhan knows Islam is false. He already said black man is the real Jew. Your man in GEN.YAHANNA saying slavery in Egypt, slavery in America, where we have a huge sign, a big sign down there 7 feet tall, split down the middle, with slavery in Egypt, slavery in America, and the pictures are showing the similarity, not the similarities, the damn near the twin of the two empires, and then the Egyptian obelisk with Abraham Lincoln monument, and then you have Ramses sitting on the throne, right? The same way how Abraham Lincoln, the Lincoln monument is Ramses monument from Egypt, just with a white man face on it. The pyramid on the back of the dollar, the pyramid of Egypt, the way the slaves was dressed half naked in Egypt, them and Cardi B and Nicki Minaj be dressed half naked right now. Slavery in Egypt, slavery in America. Farrkhan had a lecture called Slavery in Egypt, Slavery in America. Right? Why is he talking about the slavery of the Hebrews and not the Arabs? Farrkhan recently left Islam and went into Scientology. Going into Scientology. Then the whole chaos erupted with Scientology. Then he came back to Islam, Nation of Islam, to Fruit of Islam, FOI, and now he's going back to NOI. Now he's talking about, you know, I know my Redeemer lives. You understand? I know they're going to come after me trying to appeal to the Christian crowd. Right? There's another tape of him. I'm going to try to remember where it is. I have it somewhere in my email where he says, I believe God is in every religion. Christian, a Buddhist, a Muslim. It's all coming from the same root. And this is just branches of who God is. And if I want to get to the root, I can't deny the branches. So and then he later said, I am Baptist. Let me see if I could find it for you, because y'all ain't gonna believe me if I just keep talking. Let me see if I could find it. Where he said, I am Baptist, I am Christian, I am this, I am all things. Hold on one second. Hold on. It was recently he spoke at a one of them Greek fraternities ceremonies. One of them, the purple ones, the Q dogs, purple and gold Greek fraternity. He spoke at one of their things because they was honoring him. He was blazing on them for, you know, because Greek fraternities is not big in the islands, but over here they have Greek fraternities where it's a rite of passage for college and university, tertiary education. Align yourself with a clique or a gang. that has a huge far reach. So that once you graduate school, that little clique or gang, you may have somebody who graduated from your university who is the president of some company. And he is a alpha, omega this, and a Q dog that, and for the girls it's deltas, they call them deltas, delta theta, or delta sigma, whatever. And all you gotta do is walk in the damn interview with the delta pin on, or do your little thing with the finger. Them girls be doing something with their finger. You know, make some noise. Them Q dogs used to brand themselves on the left shoulder. I don't know which one. They would put a horseshoe brand. I'm talking about heating up a goddamn horseshoe and sticking it into their flesh. You understand? So now when they walk around with a vest or with a sleeve up, you communicating to everybody else who is a Q dog that you one of their frat brothers, you one of their colleagues. They recently honored Farrkhan, and he was checking them for how they walk around with their pants low, and the fact that they call themselves dogs, that they shouldn't do it. And he's telling them, you know, listen, man, he is all things. He can't deny any one religion. He has to accept them all because God is everything. God is, you know, Buddha. God is this one, that one. It's all part of the same root. But I'm gonna find it and post it up somewhere, brother. I can't see it right now. Right? I'm gonna find it and post it up somewhere for you. Now I'm using him as an example because he's somebody everybody knows. You get the point? The reason why, even though he still knows that Islam is false and still follows it, ashamed of the alternative. If he has to leave Islam, Christianity is garbage. Ain't no brother leaving Islam, I'm going in the Christian church. It's the other way around. He'll have to go back to being black. And black people hate being black. Black women hate that they have to comb that hair. Black women be having a ton of long hair, thick, just to comb the shit, braid it out, flat iron, whatever. But they'll cut it off or perm it and blonde to be like the white woman. And dress like the white woman. And try to talk and act like the white woman. You get the point?
Right.
Or become an African.
Right.
And wear all the dashikis and walk around with slippers and all that, you know, all that African mess. Like, we hate being who we are. And that's a burden we struggle with from the days of Adam. From since Adam was in the garden. You get the point? That's you, Galawan?
No.
That's me.
All right, no sweat. No, I thought that was the brother calling. Ain't no sweat. Let's see what I'm talking about. So we already reached where the Lord raised up Adam. Where the Lord taught Adam laws and raised him out of the dirt, out of the dust of the earth, right? So let's get Genesis 2 and 21. Start 2 and 21, right? We're gonna see where Eve come into play. And then where sin came into play. All right, go ahead.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 21. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam. All right, just again. And the Lord, the power, caused a deep sleep.
Hold on 1 second. Hey, Kareem, any way you could put your phone on silence instead of vibrate?
That's all.
You should still be able to hear. It's just your notifications. They ain't gonna come across that much because it's kind of distracting.
That's all. I'm gonna call back in, right?
No sweat. All right, got one.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right, go ahead. Read it one more time.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 21.
Also, Slack, if anybody wants a link to join in the house, if anybody want to actually be a part of the hangout, just let me know. I can send you the link. If not, you know, you can follow on the YouTube chat, youtube.com. Just go to I.S.U.P.K Trinidad. and you can just watch the class there, all right? Go ahead,
Farrkhan. And the Lord power caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. Right, verse 22.
Right.
Right. And the rib which the Lord the power had taken from man made he a woman and brought her unto the man. Right, verse 23. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man.
Right? So now the Christian church will tell you what? The Lord put Adam to sleep, and Adam was mysteriously sleeping. And the Lord, you know, cut his flesh open, you know, and pulled out his rib, you know, took a bone from his rib cage, and, you know, out of bone. So now we have creation stories that say the Lord made Adam out of mud, but the woman he made out of bone. And that, I don't know, just thinking about it, that's so heavy. Like that's the Christian doctrine. And of course, and woman is bone. Which one's stronger? The bone stronger. So you know, that's the whole philosophy leading into woman worship, woman is superior, all that. That's not what it's saying, right? This is as deep sleep. We for sure gonna get back to it, but I want to speed forward where they sinned against the Lord, so you can see the basis of our shame and embarrassment today. 45:7 says, no longer will thou be ashamed or confounded without end. That shame is shame of not being the other nations. And damn near inherent in our flesh. We want to be like every single other nation on the planet Earth. Let's stop here. We go come back to Eve. We go come back to how Eve was formed. But he didn't drug Adam. He didn't put, you know, he put peroxide over Adam's nose and send him to sleep and then perform surgery. That's not what happened. All right? Slack,
yeah, a Christian was also telling me that a man is missing a rib. And okay, a Christian was also telling me that men is missing one rib. So for example, if a woman has 10 ribs, a man has 9 ribs.
God damn. But he better go be a doctor. Hey, listen, that sounds like some serious, you know, medical, you know, so like, excuse me, that sounds like some serious, you know, medical stuff right there. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't have no proof of that. I ain't got no male skeleton to count the ribs. You understand? I don't have no woman skeleton to count the ribs. But I do know that the Bible is not literal. You get the point? You know, and anybody who comes and tells you, well, man has less ribs than woman, will say, well, how many ribs do women have? And they don't even know. Men have. Well, I don't know. All I know is we have one less than them. So how you even know it's less if you don't even know what the amount is? The reason is that's doctrine. That's something that's taught. That is not, you know, that ain't, you know. And furthermore, that ain't got nothing to do with the Bible. Who the hell knows? Man may have less ribs than woman. I don't know. But that ain't what this is talking about. Just like what? They say men having the neck.
So like, what was that?
What do people say that brothers have in the neck, or men?
Adam's apple, right?
Adam's apple, right? Why they call it Adam's apple?
I have no clue.
I never heard before, but I don't know if it's maybe because Adam ate an apple. They say, I don't know.
Anybody? Kareem?
Nah.
Why do they call it? Why do they call it Adam's apple? What have you heard is the reason why they call it an Adam's apple?
I don't know the history of the name now. Why they call it that?
Okay.
But
You never asked why they call it Adam's apple?
No.
Well, I've asked because I remember being a little child and asking why the hell water is wet. I remember asking why the sun hot, why the hell water wet, why this side of my hand black, this side light. That damn thing, and you could imagine I was told to sit down and shut up a whole time. Right? I was told this every man has this. This is when Adam ate the apple stuck in Adam's throat. And because every man comes from Adam, every man is born with this as a reminder of Adam's sin. So, of course, do women have Adam's apple?
Right.
Adam's apple?
No.
I never saw.
But the ones that are walking around today, the Transformers, they do. The bright color hair and the deep voice who kill them dead, they transvestite or transsexual. So now the women don't have Adam's apple like a man do. The apple too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
According to Christians, she ate the apple too. So why the apple ain't sticking her throat? Nonsense. It's doctrine, right? Medical name for that thing is called laryngeal prominence, right? It's a lump that is formed by the angle of the thyroid cartilage. In your neck, you have thyroid glands that secrete certain things. And if you have a thyroid imbalance, that's how some people get ridiculously tall. Like there's some people who tall and that's their nature. Then there's some people who extra tall, they look where they ain't supposed to be that tall. Everything is just elongated. And sometimes you have some called a thyroid imbalance, right? And the hormones, sometimes the imbalance results in those type of features. You have thyroid cartilage. It's a type of soft bone around your larynx. You know what your larynx is?
No.
Your larynx is also known as your windpipe. Your windpipe. You have a soft bone there that protects it. Right? That's around it. That's your Adam's apple. You understand? That's what they call the Adam's apple, but it's just something found in men. So, and I believe women have it too, just not that big. It's not, it's not huge like a man's thing. You get the point?
Right.
Right? So your larynx holds it's part of your windpipe, and I believe your vocal cords also run through your larynx. If someone dies of strangulation, they suffer from a crushed larynx. If someone gets a neck or throat injury, they can't really talk too well because the vocal cords run through here as well. That somehow that bigger bone has an effect on your voice. So of course, a woman, her voice is not as heavy as a man. She ain't gonna have that big old thing protruding there. You get the point? But that ain't got nothing to do with no apple. That has nothing to do with no apple. That is a physical feature. You know what I mean? You could pull it up and see it. That is just a physical feature that humans have. You get the point? Right. So now, being that I know the Bible, first of apple is not in the Bible. It says the fruit of the tree of good and evil. So they didn't eat no apple. We know the Bible is not literal. It's not an actual fruit they're talking about. This is a philosophy. In the same way, when the Lord describes the rib, it's not a literal rib he took from Adam. Right? A rib is a relative. It's a fly way of saying in America, the brothers over here say shorty. You ever hear brother say that?
Yeah.
That's shorty or slim. DC niggas be talking about slim, right? Slim is interchangeable. What's going on, slim? What's going on, shorty? It's the same. It's interchangeable depending on who you're talking to. What do we say? All right. Okay, Salakia. I forgot both you all have wives. Salakia. Before you met your wife, when you was approaching her, and brother said you all out now. Yeah, when brothers typically approach a sister, they want to talk the normal way.
Boy, the many ways, yes. Man, let's say by one girl.
All right, no sweat. Yeah, brothers talking about family. And then she'll answer back something fly like, we ain't related. Who you calling family? Then some brothers might say smally to get her attention. I'm going on smally. Like that's our way of referring to a loved one or somebody you're interested in, or it's a term of endearment. A rib is a term of endearment. You get the point? You rib something close to you. It's part of you. And that's why Adam went on to say flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. Because this woman was his relative. This was his cousin. His cousin, we go back to it, but I want to move ahead to, we're going to go back to it, but just know that this was his cousin. The sleep that Adam fell into wasn't, knocked out in the emergency room, but it was, went and had sex with her. And then now they're married. Now he wake up next day, they married. Now he find out this is his, cousin. Had he known this was his cousin, he would not have married her. You get the point? Which is, I don't want to get too much into it right now. We'll come back to it. But let me get Genesis 3:1, all right?
Come.
3:1. Hold on, stay. Keep reading from... come back and explain it.
23, right.
Right, we'll come back and explain it again, but keep reading from 23.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 23. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his...
Go ahead.
Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be called one flesh.
All right? They shall be called one flesh. Go ahead.
And they were both naked.
That one flesh is, of course, because they had sex. Sex is what makes you one flesh. All right? The sex is what makes you one flesh. Go ahead.
And they were both naked,
the
man and his wife, and were not ashamed.
Right? They were both naked and not ashamed. What does that mean?
That they were both in the truth and was not ashamed. That they alone was in that
not ashamed. What does that mean? Give me naked. They were both naked and... Right, give me naked.
Naked.
All right, the brothers and sisters asking about, the rib. I'm going to come back to it, all right? I saw your question, Amataza, Yashika. I saw your question, all right? We'll be definitely going to come back to it, all right? Just bear with me. But I want to get to the shame part of Israel. You could get the understanding of it. All right. Go ahead.
So like the naked was meaning that the both of them was in the truth and was not ashamed. Right? They wasn't acting like the other people. And they knew that they was different. Yeah. how the Lord has them to
Okay.
be, they was different from other people, and there was not peer pressure into being like those other people. They was separate from those other people, and there was not a shame.
Hmm.
Mhm.
All right. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that. Anybody else?
Naked meaning there was doing wrong and wasn't they didn't care
Yeah.
because they was doing
That's
wrong.
again. You're saying they was doing wrong or they was not doing wrong.
They was doing wrong and they didn't care that they was doing wrong.
At this part. Not at this part. At this part, they wasn't doing nothing wrong. Wrong. They had is more what God wants saying where they had their culture. We had our laws, and we was not covered in the things the heathens was covered with. You understand? We wasn't wearing kufis and dresses and oil, talking about assalamu alaikum aki and akoti and all that nonsense. We wasn't walking around with beads talking about Buddha be praised. We didn't have on a suit and tie and a line up and clean face and a woman with blonde weave in her head and lace fronts good all the time, and all the time is God good, and Jesus this and Jesus that. We wasn't doing none of that, and we felt comfortable in ourselves. We was what the Lord want, and we felt good about it. We didn't feel no type of way about it. It was just, okay, this is what the Lord wants, and this is what I'm going to do. And that's that. Right? They were naked, and they were not ashamed. Now, of course, a white man reading this, because they just talk about Adam and Eve becoming one flesh, sex is on his mind. So when he say naked, he thinks they were literally naked. You understand? He thinks they were literally naked. It's not talking about being literally naked. How you know they was not talking about being literally naked? What's the proof?
The proof was that they was having sex already.
That ain't got nothing to do with being naked. Shit. You can have sex fully clothed.
I'm too sure about that.
Anybody want to try? What did Adam receive from the Lord?
He received the laws from the Lord.
What laws did he receive?
All the laws in the Bible.
All, right? So then,
Right.
if Adam had all the laws, then how could he be walking around naked?
Right. Is that the law where it says you must not see the nakedness of your parents and
Yeah,
right.
yeah. And that law is double. It's not only talking about nakedness, but of course that's something that will that if you knew about your parents, it would embarrass them. Right? That's another topic. But just to put you in have it in your mind, it's similar to with Noah. When Noah drank and got drunk and saw him naked, saw him, he wasn't clothed right, but he was drunk. Ham made fun of him. And Ham went and mocked him and, you know, spoke about him like he wasn't shit. Right? Shem and Japheth covered the nakedness of their father. Not just that he wasn't clothed right, but the fact that he was drunk and may have been talking shit and, you know, acting the fool. They walked in the tent backwards. And it's not only brotherly, in the right spirit, and, you know, not, you ain't got to look at the nakedness of your people. But in this case, we're talking about the literal nakedness. Like we have laws how to dress, right? Even in school, we have a protocol on how you come to class. Short sleeve, not short sleeve, no sleeveless. You could come with short sleeve t-shirts, no sleeveless. No vests, right? No short pants. You get the point? Sisters, nothing above your say, right? Nothing too short, right? Nothing tight, revealing. No plunging necklines. No, your whole back open. None of that stuff. You get the point? Like we have a dress code for the class, which is in keeping with the culture of our people, because we are not a flesh-bearing type of people. That's not who we are. You get the point? We are not a flesh-bearing type of people. Once again, we not African. We ain't them Ethiopians and them. You understand? We ain't the white man. His whole culture was just naked. You get the point? We ain't like that. We had laws on covering ourselves and dressing right. It was not naked. There was not, you know, without clothing. They was not naked. You understand? They were clothed. So when it says they were naked and not ashamed, it was talking about they didn't have the covering of the other nations. You know, it's going to make a little more sense to you as we keep going. All right, so give me 3 and 1.
Now, Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord power had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, have God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, of the tree which is in the midst of the garden. Power has said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
Right? So now the serpent come to her now to convince her otherwise of what the Lord said. You understand where you're at? You're at the end of 3, right?
Yes, can.
All right. So now, good. What's happening here? And what's the conversation? If you could break it down, let me know.
Salakia, the serpent, he was more subtle than any beast of the field. Meaning this person, or this person who was sly, he was more vicious than any other beast in this field. Right?
Right.
And he was trying to deceive the woman by telling her, he was trying to ask the woman, what tree shall she eat from? Right?
Go ahead.
And the woman was telling him, she may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the tree in the midst of the garden, God has told her not to eat of it, or else she will die.
All right.
Right?
So now that was the conversation there, right? I'm trying to convince her now that she could go ahead and disobey the Lord, essentially. Right? That's what it is. Even as talking about the eating of this tree and that tree, she could go ahead and just disobey the Lord. And she, you know, buck back on him first and say, nah, if she do this, Lord told us we gonna die, we gonna be punished. You get the point?
Can.
1 second, I'm looking for one scripture here for you. All right. So now, what is the trees and what is? Keep reading.
Can. Verse 4, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. Right? For power doeth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
Right. So he come back and he tell Eve now, the day she disobeys the Lord, she will be just like him and have power over good and evil. All right. She'll have nothing power. She'll have knowledge, knowing good and knowing evil. Right. She'll have knowledge, and she'll be operating on a certain level, which is how you game up a woman. Right. So in other words, what is he telling Eve? Let me see if you're really following. In other words, what is he telling Eve?
In other words, he's telling Eve she can become a god. She can become a power once she eats of the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
Now bring it home.
Right?
If he's telling Eve she can become a god, bring it all the way home.
Right. Well, the tree is talking about the.
No, just that part. Not the tree.
Right.
Just that part. If he's saying she can become God, bring it to today. Make me understand it. If you ain't get it, I'm gonna help you.
Well, he's telling her she could be like. She could have power over the planet Earth. She could rule everybody. Once she goes.
A little bit. There's something else you're missing. Something else you're missing. Let me see if anybody else. Kareem, you have you want to say try it? I said she'll be in charge. That's true. But bring it to today. Kareem, you have anything?
All right, that's meat. I still in milk stage.
No. Trust me, it ain't meat. Just think about it. Is the serpent a snake or is it a man?
A man.
It's a man. So now that we know the serpent is a man, it's a man talking to Eve and telling her what?
Telling her to disobey God.
Telling her to disobey God. But you're right. Telling her to disobey God. You're right. Something else.
Salakia, he's trying to tell her that God is lying to her because he know that if she eats from the tree of good and evil, she will become a god. So he's saying her God is lying to you. You could eat of the tree of good and evil, and you will become a god too. Right?
Okay. Still something else you're missing a little bit. Let me see. Let me check Facebook and see. Come and learn about another philosophy. That's right, but now we're looking. Malak, you on point. The black woman is God. You see this. It's the exact same thing. You've heard that. You've heard that, right? Both you brothers have heard that. Everybody on here, you all have heard that before, right? The black woman is God, right? The black woman is God. the serpent, Satan, told Eve that in the garden to get her to disobey the Lord.
Farrkhan.
Understand? It's pimp talk. It's you are the queen mother. All life comes from you. What lies within you is more powerful than anybody else. It's how you game a woman up to get her to do what the hell you want. You understand? The black woman is God. Satan said it first to Eve. You understand? If you do this, you will be a God.
As God.
You understand? The black woman is God. The black woman is God. I ain't care what nobody say. The black woman is God. You know why? Because when I have sex with her, I'm in heaven. You get the point? It's pimp talk. It's game talk. And the serpent being more subtle than all the beasts of the field. So you're looking for some slick, low-down, dirty bastard who would go behind your back and talk to your woman. That type of man, he is going to go to your woman and tell her she is better than you. You understand? She is better than you. And if needs be, he will tell her she is better than him. Just to get her to be a hoe. Just to get her to disobey the Lord. Just to get her to do whatever he wants. You understand? It's game. So this man ran a game on Eve. And of course, Eve fell for it. You understand?
Farrkhan.
All right, let's keep going.
Right? Genesis chapter 3, verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
All right. So now she did it, and then she went to Adam and got Adam to sin. No, I'm asking you here. What is the trees? What is the fruits?
Knowledge.
I'll take that. I'll take that, Kareem. I'll take that. Knowledge. Anybody else?
So like the trees, like the other nations, the other doctrines, the other philosophies of the other nation.
You mixing it up. You close it though. You mix it up a little bit. Anybody else? Was the brother who just wanted to come in? Brother from Connecticut, Chapman. I don't know if he got in. Or anybody else? Just type your answer in if you want to try. All right. Give me Ezekiel 31 and 7. All right, Kareem, you could read that one. All right, Galawan, make sure you keep holding Genesis.
Come.
My problem with this, Masha.
Yeah, go ahead.
My problem with this King James Version is that it in Roman numerals too now. And the line
you have 1611.
Yeah, and the font size too small. So
Okay. Okay, I'll take that. Listen, you got to pick up that sword a little more. You got to start to wield that sword. Yeah, yeah. You can't have a gun and they ain't know to shoot the goddamn thing. You got to start to wield that sword. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ain't no sweat. Ain't no sweat. If you have a computer or so a laptop or something, you can pull it up on your laptop. If not, Galawan will pick it up. All right, but for next week,
Yeah.
try and get like a laptop or something. You can pull it up online. There's apps on your phone if you need it. Just hit me up. I can send you the link for the app on your phone. It's bigger.
All right.
You know what I mean? But that 1611, you definitely want to get familiar with it because it's a if you have a choice, it's better you get that Bible than the one without the Apocrypha.
Yeah, because
You know what I mean? When everything is
what I noticed just now too. What I noticed just now too is that it have plenty errors now.
It's not errors.
Right, because
it's how it's written. That's how they would spell things back then. It's not errors.
Yeah, but like for instance, chapter 3, verse 1, it said that the serpent deceived Eve, and then it reached 6. Man's shameful fall, and God arranged them.
Okay, that's not the King James.
Oh.
It's probably something else you have with Roman numerals. Pull it up on the screen, let me see. Hold on. Say something so I could see it.
You seen it?
Okay,
seen it there?
Okay, yeah, it's only when you talk I could see it because when you talk, the camera switches to you.
Yeah. Right. Okay. You seen it there?
Yeah, I've seen it now. And what does it say inside?
Yeah. The Holy Bible containing Old and New Testament.
Okay, read 2 and 1 again.
3 and 1.
3 and 1, I mean.
All right, chapter 3, verse 1. The serpent deceived Eve. 6. Man's shameful fall. 9.
Okay, it goes.
God arranged them.
Hold on, it goes directly from 1 to 6, and then 9.
Yeah. Yeah.
You probably just get a bootleg Bible. So lucky. somebody take your money. somebody put Genesis, and the rest of that book is probably the Quran, and take your money and sometimes it happen like that. You know what I mean? Sometimes it happen like that, but somebody did you something very unbrotherly, very, very unbrotherly. You know? Good thing it wasn't on. You should have been aiming, shooting right now and getting plugged with holes. God damn. Yeah. It's possible that wherever you bought it, you know what I mean? A lot of them online sometimes be coming
online on Amazon.
Yeah, but okay, even if it is on Amazon, you could register as a user on Amazon. You don't have to, be right. You get the point?
Right.
So you might what we'll do is afterwards, after the class, you just send me some pictures of some of the pages so I could see it myself. And it maybe you just might just have to reorder another Bible. You know what I mean? Or get with Galawan. I know he knows where to get them solid. Or we'll talk after. Maybe you make arrangements to come up for the Passover because Galawan coming for Passover. Maybe you come up with him and you could get an official one up here from the stores up here. You could go in and watch the book and buy one and just take it back with you. You know what I mean? But for now, you could put away the Quran. I'm joking out. Don't worry about it. So just follow along, all right? What you want to do is write the scriptures down and then you could get it back after.
All right.
All right, Galawan, go ahead. Give me Ezekiel 31 and 7.
Ezekiel chapter 31, verse 7. Thus was he fair in his greatness, in the length of his branches, for his root was by great waters.
Read it one more time, man.
Farrkhan. Ezekiel chapter 31 verse 7. Thus was he fair in his greatness, in the length of his branches, for his root was by great waters.
Right, go ahead.
The cedars in the garden of power could
Cedar.
not hide him.
Cedar, not
Cedar.
cedar. Cedar.
Farrkhan. The cedars in the garden of power could not hide him.
You know what? Skip up to verse 1. Start at 1.
Farrkhan. And it came to pass in the 11th year, in the 3rd month, in the 1st day of the month, that the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and to his multitude, whom art thou like in thy greatness?
Mm-hmm.
Behold, the Assyrian was a cedar in Lebanon,
Uh-huh.
with fair branches, and with a shadowing shroud, and of an high stature, and his top was among the thick bogs.
Boughs.
Right?
Right?
Bows.
Boughs, right? Boughs is like branches.
Right.
So what is he okay. What is the Lord describing the Assyrian to Ezekiel as?
A tree.
As a tree. Right? Everybody see that, right? He is describing the Assyrian as a tree. Right? Keep going. And how, okay, the tree, fair branches, is beautiful with shadowing shroud, meaning what? What does that part mean?
He stature, he body, like how he built.
Okay, but this ain't talking about one man.
To a nation.
This is talking about a nation. Right? Behold, the Assyrian was a cedar in Lebanon, right? With fair branches, with shadowing shroud, right? With beautiful branches. Meaning what? The Assyrian nation was a big, rich, and powerful, glorious nation, right? In Lebanon, right? High stature,
Right.
branches shadowing everything. You get the point? Branches was shadowing every single thing. Hold on one second now. Hello? Hey, Lord Christ, hey, Kowal, I'm in class now, all right? You can give me a call after class, or you could give Kapash a call and tell him, I say, bring you up to speed on how to get started. All right? All right, no sweat. Shalom. Lord Christ. All right? And the branches was wide and overshadowing everything, meaning they was, spread out. Like they had far reach and power and control over the other nations. You get the point? Keep reading.
Verse 4. The waters made him great. The deep set him up on high with her rivers, running round about his plants, and sent out her little rivers unto all the trees of the field. Therefore, his height was exalted above all the trees of the field, and his bows were multiplied, and his branches became long because of the multitude of waters when he shot forth.
So all them resources he's getting. So he became more powerful than any of the other nations in the field. You get the point? Skip me down to verse 7 where he was reading. No, verse 8. Give me verse 8.
The cedars.
Cedar, like wood, not cedar. You ever hear about cedar and teak and mahogany?
Right.
Cedar.
Wood.
Cedar is a type of wood. All right, go ahead.
Farrkhan. The cedars in the garden of power could not hide him.
In the garden of the Most High.
Farrkhan. The fir trees.
Read it one more time. The cedars in the garden of the Most High.
Farrkhan. The cedars in the garden of the Most High. The fir trees were not like his boughs, were not like his branches.
Read it one more time, Mark. You went in and out. The connection got kind of flaky.
Farrkhan. The cedars in the garden of the Most High could not hide him.
Mm-hmm.
The fir trees were not like his boughs,
Mm-hmm.
and the chestnut trees were not like his branches. Nor any tree in the garden of the Most High was like unto him in his beauty.
Right? So none of the trees, the garden of the Most High is where?
The garden of Eden.
Eden. Right? So we're talking about the garden, and this Assyrian, he is a tree in the garden, and he is bigger and stronger than all the other trees in the garden. You get the point? The trees in the garden are talking about the other nations. Right? The Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden. Let me see how best I explain it to you. Eden, the word Eden. You know what the word Eden means?
No.
Kareem?
No.
Okay, Eden means earth. You understand? The word Eden means earth. It's an old word for earth. Like the planet Earth.
Right.
And the Garden of Eden means the garden of the earth, or the best place of the earth, or the paradise of the earth. You understand?
Right.
That's what it means. So now we have the earth, you have the garden of the earth, and in that garden there's other nations that are there, that are settled there. And if you know anything about where the Garden of Eden was, it's that damn near that entire Middle East region, damn near. Right, it's damn near that entire Middle Eastern region that you have today, Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, all them little areas there. All that is the Garden of Eden. So now he's saying the Assyrians, they were the most powerful tree in the Garden of Eden. Bigger and stronger than all the other trees. The branches was more powerful and better. All right?
Right.
Keep reading.
Farrkhan. Ezekiel 31 verse 9. Right? I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that all the trees of Eden that were in the garden of the Most High envied him.
You understand? So now the Lord made the Assyrian that powerful. You get the point? The Lord made the Assyrian bigger and powerful than everybody else, so that all those other nations would envy the Assyrian. You understand? The trees represent the nations that were round about. The leaves, what do the leaves represent?
The multitude of the people.
Nope. Something else. Something else.
Leaves represent the strangers.
Not the strangers. All right. Not the strangers. Sade love or Said love. The fruit is, she asks if the fruit is philosophy. In a way. fruit and the leaves are the philosophies of the other nations. Right? Their culture, their customs. Right? The trees are the other nations. The leaves and the fruit of those trees are the philosophies of the other nations. The leaves of those trees are the philosophies of the other nations. Right?
Right.
The Lord told Adam and Eve they could eat of any tree, but the one that was in the middle. I want to say the one that was in the middle, he distinguished it. Meaning, he said, y'all could eat of all these trees except that one. There was a particular tree they was never supposed to learn nothing about. You understand? Never supposed to learn their culture, never was supposed to learn how they do things. And the serpent got Eve to consider that tree, and Eve got Adam to now consider that tree. You get the point?
Right.
So now, break the arm. Let's go back to 3 and 6. Start at 6 again and keep going forward.
Genesis chapter 3 verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food,
right,
and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise.
You understand? So she looking at the tree, and she started getting jealous of the tree. Meaning she wanted to do what? Be like them. She looking at them other nations, and she's like, boy, oh boy, how good life would be if I could just marry a white man like Serena Williams. Get the point? How good life would be if I could just marry a white woman. You get the point? Like that. Let me ask you something. You're gonna know this. That Jamaican artist Popcorn, right? His woman's supposed to be from Trinidad, right?
Can.
Is that girl white or black? Is she a heathen or that's a sister?
Yeah, heathen.
You're sure about that?
I'm too sure. I know.
Okay, somebody had to give me the full out 411 on that broad there, because it's such a black thing to do. No, I don't know. She could just be, light skin. Trinidad is full of, Taino Indians and Hispanic sisters from Venezuela. She don't look like them though. You get my point? She don't look like that type. But once again, I was going to use him for example with that of marrying another nation of people are not your own. You get me? Marrying another nation of people are not your own is the whole jealousy of not being who you are and wanting to be something else. You get a good one. A lot of brothers in Trinidad do what? Get Indian women. Right?
God.
Get Indian women. Why? Because they're easier to deal with. Because they have money. You understand? Like everything appealing that we think is appealing, we look and admire them with. And it's the same thing with Eve. Eve was looking at the other nations, started doing what they started doing, and then got her husband to do what she was doing. You understand? You get the point?
All
right, let's keep moving.
And she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
All right, go ahead.
And the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons.
All right. So what happened now once they started learning these other philosophies? What happened now that when they started getting on point with everything else? What happened?
Well, Slacker, when they started to know that started to learn those other philosophies, they knew that they was originally different from everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Felt naked in this term, meaning that make them felt ashamed of who they were before. The truth,
Say that one more
right?
time.
That made them how they learn the other philosophies from that nation.
Uh-huh.
And felt naked, meaning ashamed of who they were before, meaning that they were in the truth before, and now that they learned the other, felt ashamed of who they was
Right. That's it.
before.
That's it. And when they say they felt naked, what does that part mean?
This part means ashamed, naked. This
Right.
part means they was ashamed of who they were.
They felt like they were lacking something. You ever see like sometimes a woman, she ain't dressed right and she pass in front of somebody who she respects? You see, we see it all the time at camp, where, especially in the summertime, where sisters, dressing half naked. And as soon as they get in the camp, they in front the camp, they do this. Just out of, reaction. You know what I mean? They're walking down the street as normal. Everything bouncing and jiggling outside. And as soon as they try to cross the street before they get to the camp, most of them do. If they don't get to do that, they walk in front of the camp, and then you see them do this right here. And cover themselves up. Why? Why do they do that? Because
Conscience.
their conscience, being in front of the brothers makes them feel short. When I say short, not in height, but it makes them feel lacking, like something's missing. I need to cover up here. It's just natural. You understand? Adam and Eve felt like, damn, we ain't got enough. We need more. This thing we in here, why are we rocking the shield and why we wear the headpieces like the brother who came on earlier? Now I don't know, maybe his connection dropped. Right, Galwan? Maybe his connection dropped.
Right.
I don't know. I think I saw him looking, and then he just dipped. You get the point? Because to him, this is just looking too. What the hell is this? And they call it a star. That star that you're wearing. Some man wearing a star in the back of him. He in all black. He have on these wristbands. He gone because what makes him feel good is if I had on a 3-piece suit with a tie, and I said, "Blessed good evening to you, brothers, in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Let's bow our heads in prayer." If I had that, if I had flowers on this side and that side, you understand? If I would have a comb over, brothers they put a part in the head here and have a comb over. And if I would reach out to the camera and say, somebody's out there is going to get a financial windfall, all you have to do is click the link below and send me $5,000, and the Lord will bless you with a new house. That brother he might have stayed. I may have been comfortable for him because this makes him feel inadequate. My face ain't clean enough for him to listen to. My lineup rough as hell. This is a rough lineup right here. My barber dead 10 years. You understand? He buried 10 years ago. I ain't seen a barber chair. He's probably looking at me like, I can't. I'd rather go to the other nations. Get the point? It's that nakedness is a feeling of inadequacy. It's a feeling of being short. It's a feeling of I'm not enough. It's a feeling. It's what do you call this thing? I forget what the white man called it. Oh boy, it's a term right at the tip of my tongue. Something complex. Inferiority complex. It's an inferiority complex that we have as a people that we want to be like the other nations. And that's why it says they realize now that we are naked. You get the point? You hear even, okay, especially in Trinidad, the culture, 10, 15 years ago, the music was different. What brothers and sisters were singing about was different, right? Even the clothes brothers and sisters was wearing was different, right? You remember Beanie Man had a song dissing all them brands that everybody wearing now, where he was calling Versace a homosexual. He was basically saying, that, okay, we as black people, we love wearing these brands when these men is homosexuals and whores. You get the point?
Right.
Right? Now, that's all everybody wearing. You get the point? You all don't know the song I'm talking about. Like, Beanie Man had a song where he's saying, he was talking about, he said Moschino is #1, but is the #1 Skettle brand, meaning sisters who ain't so, put together, they favor Moschino and them things. At one time, Moschino is what everybody was wearing. He said Versace is a booger man, meaning a homosexual, but yet still all the bad man wearing Versace. Bad man and wearing Versace. But now, Versace, everybody wearing Versace. I don't hear everybody wearing it because now their culture is what we want. You understand? It's that feeling of naked and ashamed. Like, I don't have what they have. What they wear. I need to do what they do. I need to, pop champagne and, summertime. Even at one time, summer was a foreign word for brothers in the Caribbean. Right or wrong? When it started being used, the older brothers would be like, what are you talking about summer? You know nothing about no summer. We have 2 seasons, nigga. Dry season and rainy season.
Right.
That's it. You talking about summer. For the summer vacation and summer. It's an American term. But of course, it's part of the culture. It's part of the cultural appropriation where now we want that. So everything start coming in. It's a feeling of, I ain't all the way up to par. I need more. I don't no longer want to be me. I want to be that. You get the point? And that's what Adam and Eve went through. So give me verse 7 one more time.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 7. Of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons.
Right? And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. What is that talking about?
Well, in this certainly the fig leaves was the other doctrines of the other nations, philosophies of the other nations, the fig leaves. Right? And apron is what they just put over you to protect you from something, or to cover you. An apron is what is put on to cover yourself.
Right.
So that they was using the other philosophies of the other nation, right? Or to hide themselves. Right. Yeah.
Exactly. They use the philosophies of the other nations to hide themselves. Right? To hide themselves in. You understand? Read it one more time.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 7. And the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons.
Right? They sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. They made themselves something to cover themselves up. You understand? That's right, I.S.U.P.K. They used other cultures to cover their inadequacies. Not their inadequacies, but what they thought was their inadequacies. You get the point? Example. Brother growing up, right? He's in school in the islands. He could either go one of 3 different ways to become a young man. Either become a Christian and take a nice shape up and be a nice little church boy. Either become a Muslim and start beating everybody. Dreads and become a Rastafarian. That's your damn near 3 options as a young man in the islands, right?
Right.
So now each of them take on a certain persona, a certain type of language that comes with each of them, right? Brother grow a dread and get an instant accent. Instant. As soon as them dreads start growing, right or wrong? As soon as you can't run the comb through it. Yes, I Selassie. I have 99. The half has never been told. And you get a certain walk and you start to do a little style thing. You know, you put your hand here, Selassie. It's a culture. It's not our culture, but it's one we invent to go with worshiping Ethiopia, which was a tree. One of the trees roundabout. You get the point? Not to say that the Ethiopians grow their dreads, but we invent something to make the shit fly. You know what I mean? To make it appealing to us. You get the point? Or you could become a Muslim. Right. You could become a Muslim and wear a shirt all the way up to here with an ugly bow tie. Right? The bow tie here. Peace be unto you, brother. How are you doing today? All right? You clean your face and you wear the glasses. Or you wear a dress and you put the kufi on and you dye your beard red. Assalamu alaikum, my brother. Peace be unto you, inshallah, alhamdulillah. Right? They all look, walk, and talk the same because it's the culture they put on so that they don't be a nigger from Beetham. That they no longer a nigger from John, from Lavantil, from Point, from Labrie. Now I'm not that. But you see this kufi and this dress I'm wearing proudly? I ain't that nigga no more. I am Al-Sharif Muhammad. Not Muhammad. Not Muhammad like how we always say Muhammad. Muhammad. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We start taking on a culture to cover ourselves up. You get the point? To fully cover ourselves up. And that's what them fig leaves are. Right? Pick up I.S.U.P.K. I.S.U.P.K. is my go-to man to these videos, boy. So what? I had this whole thing downloaded. I just couldn't remember where the goddamn timestamp was. Hold on. You'll bear with me, all right?
It's such an honor to one of those boss. I think I'll take a drink. I'm a Muslim. But
hold on. All right. So now this is Farrkhan speaking at Omega. I know them as the Q Dogs, but apparently their real name is Omega Psi Phi Fraternity. These are the brothers who wear purple and do the step show with the gold boots. You all might see them. Right? It's a black Greek fraternity, or black fraternity, or the black Greeks, or whatever they call them. And this is Farrkhan addressing the Greeks, or the black Greeks, right?
Right.
So this is him here. For the whole show he speak and talk and everybody stand up listening to him. All right. I think he just finished correct them for wearing their pants low and showing their behind, because that's part of one of their initiations, walking around with their ass out. It's a strange thing, brother, but you follow the Greeks, you do what Greeks do, right? And they have their local name or colloquial name would be the Q dogs, right? And they, you know, the hoof, hoof, like our brothers used to do it before. That was their call. So he was saying, why you call yourself a dog? You're not a dog, blah, 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 that type of thing. He don't, you know, it's just a culture thing, right? So this is him here talking about the religion part.
So, the man with your mouth, I want us to be better at following him. To follow him. There's a difference. Because you can worship a man with your mouth. But it takes more than your mouth to walk in the footsteps of an upright man. A man who was a man. A man who had intellect and integrity. But he never had a degree from the colleges of his day. And fortunately or unfortunately, I don't have any letters behind my name. I'm so honored by the honor that you have given to me. I didn't want to talk. I just wanted to thank you. But the best way to thank you is to talk.
All right. So you cracking jokes, doing this thing.
So I'm going to close this. Because my brother, is it Damien Charles? Where is he? Brother Damien? You sang beautifully.
Right? You hear how he talking? You know, like he's a Christian. You sang beautifully, Brother Damien. Where is he? Now notice underneath this, he's still wearing the bow tie. Y'all see the bow tie right here? Right? He's still wearing the bow tie. I'm gonna back it up a little bit when they got to his shoes. He's still wearing the suit with his shoes, right? Cause he ain't the, you know, the regular Muslim with the kufi and the dress. He is, you know, he's the politician Muslim, right? You know, this makes him feel clean. This don't make him feel like a brother. You understand? This makes him feel like an upstanding, the minister. They call him the minister. They don't call him brother. They call him what's going on, black man. And you can see the crowd he's standing in front of. And you see how they all honored him. These are uppity, proud Negroes who don't want to be associated with anything black. So how in the hell, number one, you are Muslim and you wearing a suit with a bow tie as representing Islam. And then on top of the suit with the tie, which is one set of fig leaves, one set of branches, one set of philosophies, you put on Greek culture on top of that. You're supposed to come in there and say one or two things. I refuse this award because you all follow Greek culture and I'm a Muslim. I follow that. He's supposed to at least say that or go in there and say, because I am a Muslim, I humbly accept your award. I will not be wearing this purple garbage though. You understand? But he puts on more fig leaves to hide who he is. You get the point? Oh, snap.
Right.
I done skip forward ahead here, brother. Bear with me. Bear with me.
Where is he?
Right?
Brother Damien?
Brother Damien. Now, what part of Islam is, you know, I'm trying to get the side of his head. Right? Right. Muslims believe you can't be an imam or a leader without a beard. Farrkhan don't got no beard. Right? And this side part is highly Christian. The side part right here is highly Christian. This is all coverings of the other nation. It's a white man look. Like how the white men wear that comb over, that's where that part, that's where the spirit of that part in your head comes from. It comes from how white men would comb over one side of the hair and leave a part. So you take the razor and make a part in your hair for it. You understand? And of course, over years, we do different things. Put 3 lines in your hair for a slanted part. That part was at the side of your head, right? You old enough, or you talk to somebody who is old enough to where that side part come in from. That's where it really came from. All right, so now listen to him here.
He's saying the oft-repeated prayer.
More bow ties, right? More bow ties and an Egyptian shape up. An Egyptian shape up. Fig leaves covered in fig leaves.
Do I sound like a Christian to you?
You think, nigga? You think? He just talking about how beautiful the brothers sang, and then turn around and say, do I sound like a Christian to you? No shit, nigga.
Christian. Do I sound like a Christian to you? It's because I really am.
Now listen, brother, Salaki, don't nobody meet me on the street, send me no messages about F.U. Mashaki, ain't no Christian, you don't know what you're talking about. The nigga is Christian as church pews are. He's Christian as grape juice and wafers. Child molestation is Christian. He just said, yes, I am a Christian. And look how he's going to try to clean it up now.
I'm a Muslim.
I'm a what? So he's a Christian and he's a Muslim. Listen, somebody better go get Farrkhan is senile. This Alzheimer's is kicking in right here, brother.
I'm a Christian. Yeah, I'm a Baptist.
If I'm in the Nation of Islam right now, I'm in Fruit of Islam right now, I'm walking out the goddamn door. What can I stay and learn from this guy anymore? I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim, and I'm a Baptist. Christians own slaves. Islam is originally Arabs who sold black people to the white man. And the KKK was Baptist. But you call yourself all of them.
I'm a Methodist. I'm an Episcopalian. I'm Catholic. I'm a Jew.
You understand? He's sowing fig leaves because living as a black man, a descendant of the slaves in North, Central, South America and the Caribbean islands will drive you crazy every single day if you're not in the truth, if you're not in the one body of Christ, if you're not part of One West I.S.U.P.K. under Commandant GEN.YAHANNA. You will wake up every day and be angry you're still in the skin you're in. You will be angry and you will want to become anything that is not you. That's why that next fool who in prison for molesting them kids, Malachi York, what did he say about black people? And we are originally what? Reptiles. Like a nigga rather be a goddamn lizard. How bad it is. You rather be a lizard, a salamander, a iguana, than a human being. Because why? It's something in us to hate who we are. And he hates who he is. He cleaved to Islam for so long and realized the shit is wrong. So he's now trying to mishmash, flip and flop his way back into something that's powerful. But he needs to really just come and give, you know, hand the mosque over to Captain Mauquad over there in Chicago, complete with the helipad and the helicopter. Just hand everything over to the UPK. I'm gonna play it one more time. Do I sound Christian?
You sound beautiful.
He said the man sang beautifully. Like what the hell is, brother? Come on.
But he sang the oft-repeated prayer of the Christian faith. Do I sound like a Christian to you? It's because I really am. I'm a Muslim. I'm a Christian. Yeah, I'm a Baptist. I'm a Methodist. I'm an Episcopalian. I'm Catholic. I'm a Jew. Oh no, Farrkhan. I grew up in church. I don't hate the church. Muslims are crazy as heck. Who want to kill somebody because they're a Christian? By the way, what was the religion of Jesus? I think I'll take a drink.
Listen, ask that question outside of the UPK. Nobody. There's nobody on the earth who asked that question. Well, what religion was Jesus Christ? That's the point. But of course, Farrkhan is busy watching our tapes. And it's time to hand over your entire congregation, because you maybe you didn't know, I don't know, giving you benefits of the doubt. No, but you have led our people astray. Obvious sodomite in the crowd. Bald head, Egyptian eyebrows, looking like a bald-headed Ian. Was he homosexual name who does be doing the news in Trinidad? Ian Allen?
Yeah,
the East Indian one with the ring on the pinky finger. Looking like a bald-headed Ian Allen. Full out homosexual up in there with Farrkhan. And sitting in the Muslim section, because look, the bow tie right behind him here. The bow tie right behind him here. And then the sister covered up with the headpiece. So he's in the Muslim section, and he's a homo.
Right.
In the book of John, he makes many I ams, but he never said, I'm a Christian. Well, some of you hypocrites that bacillus, how could you, a Christian organization, give such an honor to one of those bosses? But wait a minute, Farrkhan, you said you was a Jew. I said, that's right. I had some rabbis at my dinner table. Boy, were they sharp. They didn't want me to correct them. They said, you don't correct us. This is an arrogant man.
All right, let me skip you all ahead a little bit.
But you can tell I got him. I stand up and let God use me. So the scripture says, how come this man not having letters, and believe me, I ain't had a note in front of me. I don't need notes. I stand up and let God use me.
You only quote in the Bible and not the Quran. And what about I stand up and let Allah? What about Allah's will? What about inshallah, which translates into if Allah wills? What about inshallah? Well, where's that? You know why? Because now he's ashamed of being a Muslim, so now he has to put on new fig leaves. New fig leaves. There's a part in here where he says, I'm all these things because God is all of them. I'm not sure if it's in this video and the other video. If you're listening, just play it through. Send me the timestamp of where it is, where he says he is all things. Where he says God is all these things. So that's why he is everything. You get the point? Like, that's the shame that our people feel on a daily basis. You understand? That's where our people are at on a daily basis. What I'm saying, the most important part, what's with all the purple? Listen, I was trying to get him a pass tonight, brother. I was going to focus on Islam. But it seems like everyone who supports homosexuality and goes into the Christian church wears purple. Right? Them purple faggots in IUIC. Farrkhan put on the purple. Everybody just want to be purple. Right? You understand? It's, once again, but let you know, get off the topic, it's putting fig leaves on yourself. And not even getting off the topic. That purple was a rich color in the Bible. Royalty. And of course, if you're tired of being poor, you wear what? Versace. Moschino. Give me some more of them gay designers that people wear. What else? What else do the brothers wear, the sisters wear?
Calvin Klein.
Michael Kors. Them women love the Michael Kors bag. And Michael Kors is a full homosexual. Full out homosexual, brother. Right? Calvin Klein, all of them. You want to cover yourself with the fig leaves. And now that purple is to know nigga no more. I ain't a nigga from Louisiana no more. I ain't from Mississippi. I ain't from Texas, from the hood, from the ghettos in Texas. I ain't from I ain't from the 9th Ward in New Orleans. I ain't from 9 Nina. I ain't from Labrie no more. I ain't from Laventil. I'm not from the Beta. I could put on this purple gay shirt and become a rich man. I could become a better Negro than you are. Right? I only have one wife. I'm not a dirty slut like you are. You get the point? I have to have a job because a man must have a job and all that nonsense they teach. It's all the philosophies of other nations that they put on. You get the point? And Farrkhan is a classic example of it that he puts on. Now imagine, after he done orchestrate Malcolm X assassination, they're talking about Muslims are crazy to hate the Christians. And you also are a Christian. Taught Malcolm X. Not taught Malcolm X. You done came up, you learned from Malcolm X because you came after him. Saw him starting to go left with the Islam and made sure he met his death. And you could rise in his place. You get the point? Like putting on these other nations' philosophies, it damages our community, damages our culture. You understand? Those leaves they sew in together are the philosophies of the other nation. You understand? Keep reading. Let's continue in Genesis quick and then we wrapping up. 5 minutes.
Okay. Genesis chapter 3 verse 8. And they heard the voice of the Lord power walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord power amongst the trees of the garden. Mm-hmm. Right? And the Lord power called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou? And he said,
right. So what does it mean when he said they were hid amongst the trees of the garden?
So okay, it means that they hid themselves amongst the other nations, meaning they were acting like how they act. You know, their culture, they was doing everything like what they was doing. So that means that they hid themselves among the other nations. Right?
Okay. Go ahead. Everybody understand that? Like when the Lord came to inquire of them, they were fully in the culture of the other nations. They were fully among, wrapped up in the culture of the other nations. And it's like they were unrecognizable then because they're in the culture of them. All right, Lance Pritchard, we have a ton of tapes already out on Rastafarianism, the dreadlocks, the history of it. Or just type in I.S.U.P.K. Rastafarianism. The brother in UK just did a history on Rastafarianism this week, right? From Powell all the way with, it's not Powell, Howell, I mean. Howell is the dude's name. Look for it and try and post it for you. You just type it in and you're going to see all them tapes that we have on Rastafarianism, the history of it, and everything like that. Hold on. Boy, it might be on Facebook. It's possible it could be on Facebook. All right, it's not on YouTube yet, but it should be on YouTube maybe this week. They'll put it out, but I know it's definitely on Facebook with the history of Rastafarianism with Howell. All right, from where it started, the years, everything, how it got popular, everything like that. So you could check it out. Just type it in and you should see it. But the other tapes are on there about the dreadlocks, the hairstyle, everything like that, where it came from. So that's what it means. That's what the trees of the garden were, the other nations, the leads with the philosophies. And we always are ashamed of who we are, so we go hide ourselves in their philosophies. We go hide ourselves in their culture. You understand? In their culture, in their philosophies. And okay, what is important to observe with what we just read there about the shame? Important thing about the shame that we just read.
That it has two types of shame. Shame. Well, the shame and the nakedness is two different types. With the one we read earlier on, where they were naked, right?
Right.
And they was not ashamed. Right? And then the other one when they were naked, meaning they was ashamed. And I know it had a precept for that. I can't remember the precept where it says there's a shame that bring forth glory and grace, and there's a shame that bring forth sin. I can't remember the scripture, but
now we onto something now. Come on.
Right. Yeah. So. Right.
Give me Ecclesiasticus 42 in the Apocrypha. All right. All right, shalom, brother. I see you got on. So this is how you'll do it next time, all right?
Shalom, sir. Yes, sir.
In the messenger, and I'll give the link. Sometimes the link work right away. Add you in. This time I had to add in, but for the other brothers, they were able to get on through the link. You know, I mean, Lord willing, for next week, if we're doing it, they'll be able to rock it out like that. So give me Ecclesiasticus 42 and 1 in the Apocrypha. Let me know if the Apocrypha in that Bible you have, that book you have, if it's correct or if it's still off. Check it out too, all right?
No, I've separate Apocrypha.
Yeah, Apocrypha. All right, cool. Ecclesiasticus 42 and 1.
Right, can. Ecclesiasticus 42 and 1 in the Apocrypha. Of these things thou ashamed, and accept no person to sin thereby.
So he's telling you, there's of these things here, be not thou ashamed. Don't be ashamed of these things he's going to run down. Go ahead.
Right. Of the law of the Most High.
Of
and
what?
His covenant. And
the law.
Of the law of the Most High and His covenant.
Right? Of the law of the Most High and His covenant. That's first. That's what it's saying. First and foremost. All right?
Right.
Don't be ashamed of the laws of the Lord and His covenants. Said to do and what the Lord said not to do. Don't be ashamed of that. That's not a good shame to have. You understand? Be not ashamed to obey His laws and keep His covenants. Go ahead.
And of judgment to justify the ungodly,
And of
and
what?
of judgment,
And of
judgment, to justify the ungodly.
Right? And of judgment, to justify the ungodly. Meaning what? Correction. Don't be ashamed to go correct somebody who doing something wrong. You get the point? Like the Christian church teaches us to be ashamed of that. You understand? It teaches us to not say nothing when something going wrong, which is something you have to totally flip when you come into the truth. You're going to have to open your mouth and say something. Teach you to just keep moving and leave whatever is there. That is not good. That is not good. You understand? I remember years ago, I was in D.C. at some slavery. They took us out to lunch or something like that. And there's this other sister, Benjamin's sister. She's from Jamaica. She's older. And we walking back to the slavery, crossing the street. There's a major street in D.C. called Georgia Avenue. Right? We crossing the street. And then there's these young girls. I mean, this had to be like 1 o'clock in the day, brother. And these girls had to be maybe 16. Oldest was 16. And they half naked out. I'm talking about, you know, down there like brown panties in the street. And they're calling somebody. And I turn to the brother and I'll be like, well, goddamn. You know, like, what the hell is going on? You know what I mean? So she hear me talking to the brother. She comes up behind, and as we walking on, a brother passed in a car, and he blow the horn at the girls. And I told the brother, I was like, well, listen, now if those girls jump in the car, the cops is going to arrest him for, you know, pedophilia or rape or whatever. But there's no correction for them for walking in the street like that. Not saying that they doing that justifies what the brother will do. You had to stop that shit. Like somebody had to, you know, get them straight. So she passes by and tells me, when I see things like that, you have to learn to shut your eyes, right? I'm laughing because, most brothers up here think all the accents in the Caribbean is the same. Right? Jamaican accents is totally different from a Trinidadian accent. She said, shut your eyes. Even using the word shut. Trinidadians won't say that. Benjamins from Trinidad would say, close your eyes or look the other way. She said, shut your eyes. But in her accent, I heard shut your ass. Salakia, brother. Say I didn't, that was my last week at the slavery. I could have saw all the way back to the damn office. And asked her who the hell she thinks she's talking to about shut your ass. It was later on the brother came and told me she was saying shut your eyes, meaning when I see it, don't look at it if it bothers me. Keep going, which was foul in itself anyway. But the point is, it's like justify, like leave them alone. I should be ashamed to even look at that shit. Or don't even be angry at it. You know what I mean? Which was the more vile thing about it. You understand? It's always anytime I think about it, I'll be like, God damn, Israel is a hell of a people. All right, keep reading up. Read that verse again.
Farrkhan. Ecclesiasticus chapter 42, verse 1. Right? Of these things be not thou ashamed, and accept no person to sin thereby. Of the law of the Most High, and his covenants, and of judgment to justify the ungodly. Right? Verse 3, of reckoning with thy partners and travelers, or of the gift of the heritage of friends.
Right, go ahead. So it's saying once again, be not ashamed to extend brotherhood. You understand? Of the reckoning of travelers or the gift of friends. Meaning what? Brotherhood. Which goes back again to the laws of the Lord, laws of the Most High. You understand?
Okay.
Right? Keep reading.
Verse 4, of extractness, hates, or of getting much or little.
Right? Of exactness of weights or getting much or little, meaning don't be ashamed to do the right thing, to get the exact weight. Meaning what? Don't rob your brother. You understand?
Farrkhan.
Don't, you know, don't tell him you're giving him a 1611 and he open it and it's the Quran like what they do to Kareem. You understand? Don't do that. Don't be, you know, don't be ashamed to do right by your brothers. You get the point? Right? So as you go down, it tells you, it's giving you an idea of the things you should not be ashamed of. And as a people, because of the Christian church, it teaches us to be ashamed, to be us, to be black, to talk how we talk, to walk how we walk, to roll the way we roll. And they try to make it out to seem like our culture is evil and we should let go of our culture and join the heathen. When they're the evil ones, when they're the wicked ones. Like in Trinidad, the East Indians call us, you know, dirty, monkey, nigger, lazy, every other thing. They call us thieves, right? That woman who they just found her in penal somewhere, Vicky Boudra. What's she in jail for?
Fraudulent signature. She's a fraudulent document signature. Yeah, forgery. Right?
She's in charge. She's been charged with fraud. Say again, Kareem.
No, she in fraud for a lot of she in jail for a lot of things. Was for robbery, false documents for vehicles and money and yeah, all kind of thing.
How much money they're saying she stole from people?
Hundreds of thousands.
I wish it was that, brother. Lucky, that ain't what I read. Galawan?
Yeah, and for houses too. But for a house worth $2 million.
Mm-hmm. Galawan, how much money they say she really in there for?
I can't recall, but I know it's plenty because EGC, yeah, I know it's plenty. So
they say
like
she
millions.
They say she stole millions from people. Documents, selling them cruises. You know, people in the islands like to go on a cruise, pay 10,000, you go on a cruise and blah 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 blah. And she committing fraud, forging signatures, doing all kind of thing, and steal. So what they say is that they know she stole in the millions of dollars. How much they can't really say. And this bitch walk out of the damn cell. Talking about some police guard fell in love with her and let her go. No, she just paid him.
Right.
She just paid him enough money to let him go, to let her go. And now they want to turn around and look at people on the beat. I'm like, we evil. Like we wicked. Like John and Laventil is the problem. Did they find her in John?
Nah.
Did they find her in Laventil?
Nah.
Did they find her on the beat in Point, in Library? No. Where they found her?
I recall it's penal.
In where?
Yeah, penal.
Say it again. Say it one more time. I just want to make sure.
Penal.
In penal. So this bitch, Slakia, stealing millions of dollars from people, living in penal, but yet still the SWAT and the tactic squad kicking in doors in Beetham?
Right.
For what? You understand? They like to make it seem like we the problem with society. They're the problem with society. You understand? The thing is, they have enough money to pay their way out of jail. And we don't. They have enough money to make their sin look glorious. You get the point? We don't. We don't. The brothers just bareback and walk barefoot walking around wearing, clothes that old and tattered and torn. We don't have the money to make our sin look glorious. But they do. They have the money to buy the Benz and the $1 million homes and the expensive suits, so nobody would look at them like they criminals when they are the criminals. The problem is we think the way out of our poverty is to be like them. You understand? We start stealing, killing, robbing, doing things they do, and we should stick to our culture. We should stick to our laws. We should not read on verse 2 again. Last scripture. Read verse 2 one more time.
Farrkhan. Of the law of the Most High and his covenant and of judgment to justify the ungodly.
You understand? Like, we should not be ashamed of God's laws. We should be ashamed to do what East Indians do. We should be ashamed to do what Africans do. We should be ashamed to do what the white man does, what the Arabs do. We should be ashamed of those things, to do what the Christians do and the Muslims do. But we should not be ashamed of not eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. We should not be ashamed of a brother growing a beard and a woman covering herself. We should not be ashamed of that. The average sister, you tell her cover up, she act like walking around covered. She's ashamed of it. She rather expose her body, which is so backward. You get the point?
Farrkhan.
It's just so backward. There's once a time you try to make a whore out of sister, she's shamed to uncover herself. No, she's shamed to cover herself. It's backward. You get the point? And that's the shame of Adam and Eve. You get me? So we're going to stop there for tonight. Galawan, give me, just send me the other things. I'm going to check on them again for you. Hopefully Tuesday or next week I could get them, or the other things you could probably bring them up in the class again. But I'll definitely check on the other things you sent me earlier. All right? So we're going to clip it there for tonight. Next week again, y'all go check out Galawan. Anybody in Trinidad, y'all give Galawan, hit him up on Facebook. Check out his videos. His brother doing a hell of a job down there, getting out on the street and teaching. All right, y'all giving that support and come and hear what he had to say. Because we right at the end. We at the time now where everybody had us come and serve the Lord. All right. So with that, shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, Yahweh, Shema, Shabbat.
Yahweh Shem Shabbat Katham. Yahweh Shema Tabashim Yahweh Shah.